Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. For your intellectual and philosophical pleasures, our host for the evening, DJ JMR.
Thank you, DJ Brotha Rod. Hello, everyone. You are listening to Let's Talk TRiO on Hound Waves, college radio. I hope you're having a wonderful weekend filled with studying, zombies, TV, zombies, sports, zombies, family time, and even more zombies. Let's Talk TRiO has... did you like that, Rod? Did you like that? That was like a little Walking Dead reference for everybody out there.
Oh, my.
So, Rod, this show has already hosted 3 guests.
Oh, my
3
God.
guests.
We're getting grown, Kim.
I know. I think we are getting grown,
We're getting grown.
And I am especially excited to have our guest today, Miss Tara Grant from the Arizona State University TRiO Student Support Services Program. She will be joining us in a little bit. Just for FYI for everyone, I am titling this episode the Redemption episode, Rod.
Yes, Tara, we owe you big. Thank you for being so accommodating and so flexible to our schedule.
Absolutely, Tara. Thank you so much. Yes, this title of the show will be officially known as the Redemption episode.
Now I have to say, I'm going to put Dr. Gatchett on blast just a little bit because it was a little beyond our scope.
No.
While we had to keep pushing some of this back. I'm just saying. Now, I love you, Dr. RG, but I'm just saying.
The circumstances surrounding we're grateful we have locks now. We're grateful that the studio has new upgrades and many more upgrades soon to come. Hopefully with the headphones. Dr. RG, we're putting an official request for those, please. Yes. So yes, today the Redemption episode with Tara Grant coming here in just a little bit. I was not able to put Tara in the interview last time during the summer broadcast. So today, Tara is making her debut on Let's Talk TRiO. So Rod, we're gonna kick this thing off as we always do.
Yes.
With a little bit of music. Yeah, with Lifehouse. That is my.
How
did you know?
I had a telepathic moment that you.
I am not that predictable.
Well, I just no. You're not predictable. I'm saying that I picked you up on a telepathic wave that you were about to play some Lifehouse. I just felt that.
We are that connected. Have we worked together that long?
It's October.
Okay.
Yeah, it's October.
So it's the season of the creepy, and I love Halloween. My wife especially, she loves Halloween. So we're going to be getting ready for that. Yeah. All right, well, with no further ado, ladies and gentlemen, here is Lifehouse with A Crash and Burn.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you were just listening to Rem, West of the Fields, and before then you were listening to a local artist by the name of Jose Archuleta. That song was dedicated to the families in Newtown, Connecticut, who lost their children at the elementary shooting earlier this year, I believe. Was it earlier this year?
Yeah, it was in December of 2012.
Oh, December of 2012. So, end of last year. And before then, you were hearing yours truly, Lifehouse, Crash and Burn.
Woo! All right, everybody, we're about to get this started. We had a special guest join us just right now, DJ Indian Burn from Smoke Signals in the Morning.
What's up? How you guys doing? It's great to be here today.
And we have actually Tara Grant from Arizona State University's TRiO Student Support Services. I'm going to bring her on the line right now. Tara, are you there?
I'm here.
Hey, Tara, how are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. How's everything going over there in Tempe, Arizona?
It's wonderful. It's a lot warmer than what you guys have there, I'm sure.
Well, we're getting some bipolar weather over here. It's warm, it's nice to go outside weather, then all of a sudden it switches to freezing cold. You have to put a jacket on and everything.
Yeah, nothing's changed, I see.
Well, everybody, this is Tara Grant from the Arizona State University TRiO Student Support Services Program. Tara is actually was a New Mexico resident before she transferred over to Arizona. She was working for the Clovis Community College TRiO Student Support Services Program as the director at Clovis, New Mexico for a while. Tara, to kind of lead us off, can you tell us a little bit about your experience here in New Mexico?
Sure. I was born and raised in Clovis. I was a Wildcat for all 3 years of high school. I left there and moved to Arizona for 2 years and played volleyball and basketball at Eastern Arizona College in Thatcher, Arizona. And when I finished there, I moved back to Eastern New Mexico University, and I was a ZIA for the volleyball team, and I actually played under Coach McGuire and Sia Poyer for 2 years and finished out my career there. I got my bachelor's degree in psychology, and then I went on and completed my master's degree in education with an emphasis in school guidance counseling.
Okay.
And then I worked in the CSP program for several years.
SSS.
Don't want to date myself too much.
Yeah. So you're very familiar with the TRiO Student Support Services program.
Very familiar. I started as a peer mentor in the CSP program.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Not to steal too much thunder from you, but I just want to say that Tara knew me back way when I first got to Portales, and I was enrolled in SSS program. I just remember this very tall, beautiful redhead that said, "You need to be a part of this program," and just kind of coddled me all the way through.
Aww.
Very softly. It wasn't like the coddle that you think of. She was a very very
Aggressive? No.
rule with what they call an iron fist. Yes.
Tara, really?
Only when necessary.
But you probably couldn't tell that through the interview. But I love you, Tara. Thank you for your support.
Tara, as an Iron Fist? No, I couldn't see that. So Tara was here at working for ENMU, the CSP program, then went over to the Clovis Community College TRiO Student Support Services. Tara, how did you manage that transition from there to community college?
It was probably a really good transition for me because it gave me an opportunity to work with a completely different population of students. When I was with the CSP program, I worked with a lot of traditionally aged students, and students who lived in the dorms, and it was just a very traditional atmosphere. When I moved over to Clovis Community College, I engaged with a lot of students that were, first generation and low income, but they were also parents, married. I worked quite a bit with a lot of people who were connected with the base at the time, and so it was great because it was the same job with a different population of students. So it helped me to develop a lot of my skills to be more creative in how I did things and to think beyond what I already knew.
Right. One question that's kind of still burning me. I mean, every TRiO professional I've met has either had a little bit of experience with TRiO or some passive experience with TRiO. What inspired you to work for TRiO programs?
Well, it's kind of funny. I was taking Dr. Johnson, his crisis intervention class one summer before my senior year of college, and he had a guest speaker come in, and it was one of the counselors from Eastern. And I was visiting with her on the break for the class, and she told me about the program and told me I really should come by and meet with Nico Cameron at the time. And so a couple of days later, I was on campus for practice, and so on my way to practice, I ran in and to drop off my resume so I could apply for a peer mentor position. And of course, I was in a ponytail, no makeup, my practice clothes with my knee pads. I was, everything you should not do when you're going for a job interview. And Nico just pulled me in, and we started chatting, and the next thing I knew, I was a peer mentor, and I never left TRiO.
Wow, very inspirational.
It's been a long time.
Now, Tara, just refresh my memory. I know it's been a little while, but I'm trying to think, when did I meet you? Now, were you already a professional when I came, or were you still a peer mentor?
What year did you get there?
I got here in Juan and I both got here in 2002.
Yep, 2002.
2002. So I was a full-time staff. I was the career counselor at that time.
Okay.
I was a peer mentor from fall of 97 till 2000, and then I was a grad student. From fall of 97 to spring of 98, I was a peer mentor. And then in 98, when I started grad school, they hired me as a graduate assistant, and I stepped into the career counselor position right before I graduated with my master's degree and stayed there till 2003.
Wow. Right on. So before you left, we were still in the admin building. Is that
actually, I helped carry those crazy boxes all the way down to Yes, I remember loading boxes in trucks and moving to the basement. So yeah, I was still there for the move. I think we'd been in there less than a year when I left.
Okay. Okay, that kind of jogs my memory. Put things in perspective. So
yeah, it was right at the same time.
That was fun times. Tara, Arizona State is a Tier 1 university. What percentage of your participants did you graduate? Excuse me. What percentage of your participants do you graduate a year?
Well, with TRiO SSF, we typically don't look at by participant. We look at by cohort. So essentially, we look at each cohort of students that come in each year, and our objective is to graduate 50% of them within 6 years. And so last year we graduated 54% of them. So we're right there close to the 50% mark, which is higher than what the university is producing. And ours is a little different. At ASU Tempe, we have a TRiO SSS program that serves only students with disabilities. So I don't serve first-generation, low-income, or students with disabilities. I only serve the students with disabilities population.
Oh, that's interesting. I haven't heard, unless when I spoke with you, that you were the only program so far that I knew of that served students with disabilities only, that it was only exclusive to students with disabilities.
There's about 24 in the country, so we're just a handful of us, kind of like Veterans Upward Bound. There's a very small group.
Very select few. Oh, wow, okay.
Yes.
Can you give us a rundown of what kind of services do you offer for your participants?
Sure. We offer a lot of the same services most student support services programs offer. Probably our biggest component is tutoring, because we are dealing with students with a lot of learning disabilities. So our tutoring component is a huge portion of our grant. We also have a peer mentoring program. And then we work with the workforce recruitment program that's funded from the U.S. Department of Labor. We work with them to get our students interviewed and kind of get them in the queue for possible federal jobs. We do a grad school conference in conjunction with our grad school at ASU and the other TRiO programs throughout the university. Then we do your usual workshops, time management, those things, those critical skills that students need that they don't always come into the university with. And, like I said, it was just a lot of the same things. I think there's just more emphasis for us on the tutoring component, because we are working with students with a lot of learning disabilities that has to be individualized tutoring, whereas our university does a lot of group tutoring.
Okay. Tara, just as a follow-up question, do you find that a lot of your population still struggle with the same, problems with our students going to the regular classrooms? And I'm not sure what the official terminology is for the college level, if it's transferable from the secondary to post-secondary, but do you find that there's a lot of similar problems where students are still lacking certain skills to adapt to the university setting?
Absolutely. I thought a lot about that kind of thing when I told you guys I would do this interview, and I got to tell you that everything I've come up with that a student is lacking at the university leads back to one particular concept, and that's time management. Mm-hmm. Because it doesn't matter how hard the class is or how easy the class is. If you don't have the time management skills to do the work, it doesn't really matter. You've got to have those skills to be able to juggle the coursework, the readings, the extracurricular activities, especially at a university like Arizona State, because there's so much to do all the time. And if you can't juggle your time well enough to be able to get everything in, you're kind of lost before you've even started. So we put a lot of focus on time management and getting our students thinking. We tell them all the time, think 8 to 5, because when you graduate, you want to have a transferable skill. When you graduate, you're going to have a job that's most likely 8 to 5. So school should be 8 to 5. And, we just really try to push our students to work those time management skills, because all the other skills and all the other challenges they have can be linked back to time management.
Okay. It sounds here like students, and I think it's mostly true for for a lot of TRiO programs, I will say, that they volunteer to be part of a TRiO program. How do you keep your students engaged? I mean, it doesn't seem like they just sign up just to take time management workshops, right? So that they have to have something that keeps them coming back, right?
Yeah, yes. In our program, with it being a Students with Disabilities only program, our students are coming from most of our students are coming from K through 12, where they've had an IEP and they've had their parents and a counselor and some teachers who sit down at a table and they decide what the student needs for accommodations based off of their disability, and then they tell the student, this is what's going to happen. And so when you get to the university, all the laws change because that student is no longer under the same set of laws. They're now under the ADA. Once they step under the ADA, it's all on them. So basically they go from being a passenger in the back seat of a car to the driver without any driving lessons. And so we have a huge hurdle there getting our students to know that they have to request accommodations, and that accommodations aren't necessarily the same at the collegiate level as it is at K through 12. A big one is tutoring. A lot of students come in and they expect tutoring to be part of their accommodations through our Disability Resource Center, and that is not a mandated accommodation according to ADA. So a lot of our students join our program initially for tutoring, and so we'll take them however we can get them, and then we hook them in with some of the other activities we do so that they can see that there's so much more to college than just their academic endeavor.
Tara, I'm going to go off script just a little bit just so I can have a better understanding of the scope of disabilities or the range of students that you deal with. Can you share with us what level of disabilities that your program address?
Absolutely. I have, we have students with physical disabilities who, use wheelchairs or, let me think, any kind of physical disability that affects their mobility. Basically, I have a group of students there. I have students that are blind or visually impaired.
Okay.
Some have no sight whatsoever. Some have limited sight. We have students that are deaf and hard of hearing. Some use interpreters. Some have what are called FM systems, where they can connect. It's like a little speaker that they just the instructor has a microphone and the student has an earpiece, and it just magnifies the sound in the classroom in their ear. I also, probably the majority of the students we have would be considered learning disabilities. So things like dyscalculia, which is a math disability, dyslexia, the reading disability, or dysgraphia, which is a writing disability. Those three groups right there use a lot of our tutoring because a student with, for example, dysgraphia really struggles with writing. And so they will spend extra time with our writing tutor, one-on-one, going through, figuring out how to get the thoughts from their head to their papers, basically. And then we have a large population of students that are ADD or ADHD. And then we also have some students that are on the autism spectrum disorders. Asperger's is probably the most common one, but that's being taken out of the DSM, so it's kind of whatever lingo now is kind of changing. But it's kind of one of those, you name it, we've encountered it, and our program does not have access to their disability documentation. Mm-hmm. We verify that through the DRC. They say yes, the student is a student with a disability, and that's pretty much the extent of our knowledge of a student's disability, unless they self-disclose to us. Most of the time, if you have a writing disability or a math disability, they don't hesitate to disclose it to me so that they can get more tutoring hours than what we typically allow students to have. So.
Okay. Well,
do you have any questions about those? That was kind of a fast version.
No. The difficult part about what you all do, at least in my perspective, the difficult part about what you all do is that there's such a wide range of accommodations that have to be made for that population of students. It just amazes me how you all are able to kind of cast the net, if you will, over all of those and provide services. And of course, having the heart of TRiO, I just have to put a plug in for those who work for TRiO. When you have the heart, you just make it happen. I think we kind of
you do, and I'm very fortunate. I'm very fortunate at ASU because I actually report to the Disability Resource Center. So my office is inside the Disability Services office.
How convenient.
Very convenient, yes.
So they handle accommodations, I handle everything else, and, we have a great working relationship. We have a fantastic team. I wouldn't trade any of them. We work real close together. They help me if we're stuck with a student and we can't seem to figure out how to help that student. I can go to any of the staff at the DRC and they will work with us and help us come up with some additional ideas that maybe we hadn't thought of. So it's a really good setup we have there for the situation we're in with just working with students with disabilities.
So I take it you and your university, at least the disability services, sounds like a pretty good network.
Oh, absolutely. ASU is huge. There's not a day that goes by that I don't meet somebody that I've never met before or never even seen before. It is such a big place.
Yeah.
And, it's 4 campuses all throughout the Phoenix area.
Wow.
But basically our motto is one university. So our students are very transient. They will go from one campus to the next. They'll take one class on our campus and 2 classes on another campus. And so there's a lot of communication and a lot of dialogue that has to take place between different departments to make sure that the students are getting the services they need wherever they happen to be.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick music break. We will have more with Tara Grant from the Arizona State University TRiO Student Support Services Program. Tara, can you give us a call back in about 10 minutes?
Absolutely.
All right, we're going to go on a brief music break.
With that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to listen to the Foo Fighters and Wheels. Welcome back to Hound Waves Radio. So, Jacob, I'm sorry. I think I cut the song off too early.
No, you're fine.
No, he's not fine because he didn't give me enough time to rehearse what the song is titled.
I'm sorry. I gave you, the title was right there, Rod.
I'm just saying that it may take me a little while to pronounce this.
Go ahead, butcher it, do it.
But I butcher it.
Do it.
Now, for those who don't know me, I have a tendency to come up with my own Spanish language. It's called Rod Spanish. We've discussed this before.
Rod Spanish.
It has not yet hit the stores yet, and Rosetta Stone has not made investment.
Because they haven't picked up on it.
Well, that doesn't matter.
It's underground.
That's right. It's underground. And what was this song called? I'm going to do my best.
I'm not gonna. If I pronounce it, that defeats the purpose of me doing the callback.
I'm grown.
Okay.
I got this.
He's grown.
It's right there.
This song that you just heard was Espinosa Paz, Te Vias Mejor Conmigo.
Awesome. Wonderful job. Good job, Rod. What was the song before that?
Celebrate me. Celebrate. Can I get celebrated for a little bit?
All right. I'm just saying, we got a show to do.
Okay. Anyway, the song right before then, you were listening to the Foo Fighters' Wheels. The wheels on the bus go round and round. Back to you, DJ JMR.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have Miss Tara Grant from Arizona State University.
Hey.
Tara, you still there? All right,
Yes, I
right
New Mexico says hi.
Tara, we have a third person in the booth today. We also have DJ Indian Burn from Smoke Signals in the Morning. That's on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So
How you doing?
Hello.
Hi.
He's crashing the show. It's all good though. We love
good.
DJ Indian Burn. All right. So the next questions that we have for you, Tara, I will let Rod kind of lead this one because Rod, you closed my window, and
I'm so sorry, and I'm so glad that my boss is giving me the platform to ask the next question. So, Tara, so just to go back to our previous conversation, I'd just like to follow up with: is there any unique, generally speaking, is there any unique obstacles your students face?
That was a good question.
That's a good question. I hope it was clear. Did that make sense, Tara?
It made perfect sense, and it's a very good question. I think every student has a unique obstacle.
Okay.
And part of being a TRiO professional is figuring out what that obstacle is and helping that student learn to accommodate it themselves. Whether it's disability, whether it's being homesick, whether it's I hate my roommate, it's just the gamut. Or I'm a single mom and I have 3 kids. How am I going to feed them while I'm going to school? As a TRiO professional, I always tell people TRiO is not a job. It's not a career. You don't work for TRiO.
Yeah.
It's a lifestyle, and you live it.
You're being so philosophical. Yes, you are, Tara. Well, this leads perfectly into my next question that I'm going to go ahead and ask.
Okay.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Tara. Did I cut you off? I am so
you're fine.
Rod is giving me the evil look right now. I am so sorry, Rod. I do apologize. What is, on top of all that, I mean, because, again, it takes a special person to really be patient and work with TRiO programs because they do demand a lot. What do you think, what does it take to serve or work for TRiO, or to be part of the lifestyle of TRiO, as you worded it?
I think it's something inside of you. I think everybody has gifts and talents, and, I happen to be really good at math, so I never in a million years expected to be doing this much stuff that's very nurturing and caring, and I don't do very much math, and I'm really good at math. So it kind of one of those, it wasn't necessarily the path that I expected to be on, but it's a path that's, I've thought about leaving in the past and taking another road, and I'm still here. It's not something you can just walk away from. Like I said, it's a lifestyle. My children can tell you what TRiO means.
Yeah.
And they're 6 and 8. They can rattle it off. What does your mom do? She runs a grant funded program that, they can rattle it right off because it's part of our life. They know my students. They interact with my students. They love my students. My students love them. We don't do a lot of things where my kids can't join in, or the spouses of our other staff members can't join in, or like I have an admin assistant who is very close with her sister, and her sister engages in things that we do with our department and with our students. It's a family. It's not a job or a career. It's a family, and you have to be a very family-oriented person because TRiO is your family. My TRiO colleagues are my family. Some of them were at my wedding. Some of them made my wedding dress. I mean, it's not just a 9 to 5. It's a life. It's all the time.
Okay.
This ain't no game.
Words from DJ Smokeburn?
No, Indian Burn.
Indian Burn.
Smokeburn. I don't know what.
I mixed the title of your radio show with your DJ name. Get off of me. You don't know me.
Yeah.
Well, staying in that frame, in that fulcrum, I'd like to just kind of embellish one of the questions that we have for you. You talked about just the family that's been created. And I know that from a political standpoint, there's been great conversation about our programs, create more efforts to collaborate with other programs, et cetera, et cetera. Could you talk about the importance of the collaboration and the networking on your campus? I know you touched on it earlier, but if you can just indulge us for a bit and talk about some of the importance of those collaborative efforts within TRiO programs and in your program in particular.
Well, the obvious one is sequestration just cut 5% of our budget, and we haven't had a lot of increases over the years. SSS was cut 3% at the beginning of the cycle. Now we just got cut 5 more %, so we're down 8%. We're hurting for money.
Oh wow!
In SSS programs across the board. So I think the collaborations across campus save us a lot. Because, for example, our grad school at ASU is hosting a grad school conference. All TRiO students who sign up get to go for free.
Wow.
Right. ASU grad school is covering their fees.
That is
not
awesome.
TRiO. ASU is paying for our students to attend their grad school conference.
No way.
And the good thing is they've tailored it to our students. They're doing it in collaboration with our directors, and we've been working with them to tell them what our students need. Excuse me. to go to grad school. And so, the whole conference is centered around TRiO, and they're allowing other students to come for a fee, but our students don't have to pay, and they get a meal and snacks and all those kinds of things, and they're going to get an opportunity. Our upperclassmen are going to get to write their personal statements and have them critiqued by people in our grad school.
That is awesome.
Before they submit them. So, I have to give kudos there because that's a big, huge component of SSS. And the other is we have a program called the University Service Learning, and it's a course that students can take. Students through our Maryland Fulton School of Education have to take at least 1 credit worth of University Service Learning. But basically, we have partnered with them. We've got a student who works in our office about 10 hours a week, and she does a lot of chemistry. She's a biochemistry major, so she does biology and chemistry tutoring for us, and we don't have to pay her.
Nice.
And she's part of our honors college. So, it's free tutoring for us from students that are in honors classes and are have very high GPAs and are doing very well. And we do some training with them on working with students with disabilities, and then we turn them loose, and it provides additional tutoring opportunities for our students, which allows us to cut some of those funds and move them to other areas that we need them when you get 5% cuts.
Well, I'd like to acknowledge and highlight the fact that is not the status quo across the nation and with all campuses. And so I'd like to say something that I know that's generated within our coalition, our group, in terms of TRiO champions. It sounds like your entire campus is a TRiO champion.
Yeah.
ASU is very big on collaborations. Very few things are done at ASU by an individual group. Everybody works together, and that is one of the things I think that makes ASU a successful university is the collaboration that they have. And it's across campuses, it's across departments, it's everywhere. That's like the word you hear all the time at the different locations is collaboration.
Awesome.
So.
Right on.
Awesome.
Kind of speaking to the fact that you have students, they eventually end up graduating, do you have any participants or students that end up working with you at your SSS program?
I do. I was so hoping you would ask me that question.
Yeah, I was telepathically reading your mind there, Tara.
Yes, I'm so glad you did.
We do that around here.
When I first got to the TRiO program at Arizona State University, Tempe, we didn't have a peer mentoring program, which I thought was very odd because everywhere I'd heard a peer mentoring program, I'm like, well, why don't they have one? Let's make one.
Exactly.
So we started one, and and the staff that was currently there, they knew the population, they knew the students very well, and I did not. And so the 2 staff that were there both gave me the exact same name at the same time of a student who should be kind of a pilot person for this. And she's a great student. She worked really hard. She had a lot of fun her freshman year, and then she learned. And I did ask I asked her if I could share her story before I put this out on the radio, just so you guys know.
All right, right on. We love to hear stories.
Yes.
She wanted to be a tennis coach. That's all she's ever wanted to do her whole life. And we hired her as a peer mentor because she was from Boston, so she had the homesickness down. She knew the importance of tutoring because she had lived through it. We hired her as a peer mentor. She peer mentored for us for 2 years, and our retention specialist resigned 2 months before she graduated. And so once we got the position posted, she applied, and she is now our student services coordinator at our program. She works with our freshmen and sophomores to help them with that transition, help them with the homesickness. We have a lot of out-of-state students. A lot of students come a long way. So she's, and she's an alumni of our program. So when a student comes in and says, I'm so frustrated with whatever, she can say, oh, I remember that. And she can kind of give them some of the I survived it, you can too moments that me, having never even attended classes at ASU, I may not be able to have the same impact as them as she can have with them. So, but yeah, she's a fantastic employee, fantastic student.
Awesome.
She is TRiO in every sense of the word, and she's volunteering now to run our student leadership for our state association. She's on the scholarship committee. Her family has donated money to our scholarship foundation because they believe in it so much. So it kind of goes back to that family thing and how it grows and how you can really get the word out through the family.
Tara, just listening to your staff's story, it mirrors my story in a lot of ways, because I started with SSS as a peer mentor. Well, actually, I started as a participant, and then a year later transitioned to a peer mentor, and then ended up working as a coordinator for the program. As you know, I took the position after Miss Betty had left. Miss Betty King Lowry had departed. And so I just have to say, she's maybe not coaching tennis, but she's an academic coach, and that's an awesome transition. And
she will tell you, I don't want to coach tennis. I want to be a TRiO director. That is her new focus. She has gone on and started a master's program, and her parents tell me all the time, we never thought she would ever do that. Because she is a student with a disability, and she had to fight for every accommodation she got through K through 12. They had a lot of trouble getting her accommodations, and then she got to the university and had to relearn everything. And so for her, it's for her to go on and take master's classes. She got a 4.0 this semester. Yay!
Wow! Congratulations.
She found her niche by getting the services she needed, and now she has figured out what path she wants her life to take, and she's grown into an amazing young lady. And I couldn't be more proud of her as a staff member and as a former student.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Right on. Tara, so we're going to ask you now a couple questions, because you were involved with an organization called New Mexico West Texas Association of Student Assistance Programs, which recently changed its name to TRiO New Mexico. I don't know if you knew that.
Yes, I did.
And so can you tell us a little bit about the involvement, not only with them, but you also said that you're the president, or you were the president, or currently are the president of your Arizona chapter.
Wow. Oh.
Yes, I just finished my term as the president of the Arizona chapter, so I am going to be the past president. Yes. Working in those two areas is, total volunteer basis. When I was in New Mexico, I was the secretary for the New Mexico Association, and it allowed me the opportunity to serve as a board member for SWASAP, which was a wonderful experience. I learned so much about TRiO. I learned about parliamentary procedure. Holy moly, that's
you can say that twice.
But there's no better way to learn it than to just find yourself in it, going, what am I supposed to do now? And I got to make some network connections that I probably never would have made if I hadn't been on that. I believe Jeff Calden was on your show in the spring.
Yeah, in the summer, Jeff was on the program.
Yeah, he's one of my buddies now, and it's fun because he and I were in college at the same time, and he played football at Tarleton, and I played volleyball at Eastern, so, we were able to make all these connections that we never knew we had because of our time serving on the board together. Just recently, I was the president of the Arizona chapter, and which gave me the opportunity to be a board member for the West Stop Association. It also landed me a week in Hawaii, which was, really upsetting.
We are green with envy right now.
Yes.
Part of our conference. Our conference happened to be there. I had to go early for a board meeting, so I got extra days.
DJ JMR, she had
to go. Of course, it was.
Of course, I can't be excited about going to Hawaii without saying thank you to my mom for this while I was in Hawaii.
Well, the rest of us are looking forward to, local conferences.
Yeah. I got lucky. That's one of the good things about moving to Arizona. I get to go to San Diego this year for our regional conference. So we have some good places here, but so did SWASAP. And, you learn a lot. You learn a lot about yourself by serving in those leadership roles. You learn, you really grow as a professional. not only does it come back and serve your students better, but, it's made me a better person. I'm a better mom because of some of the things I've learned. And, I've connected with some people, especially this last round with West Up. All of the chapter presidents, they're chapters, not states there, because California is so stinking big. They had to bust them up. So there's 3 chapters in California. But all the chapter presidents, we were very, very close last year. I mean, we send each other birthday cards. We, email each other on a daily basis. We are in contact with each other. We go visit each other, and we've really grown as people. We've become friends and family, and when something happens with one, we're all right there to handle it and support them. And, it kind of makes your family a little bigger. But I would 100% tell anybody in TRiO, if you're not comfortable being president or secretary, something at that kind of level, get on a committee. Be the chair of a committee at the very least. That's how you do it. You start on a committee and you just kind of work your way into it. But you learn so much about yourself and so much more about TRiO. I thought I knew a lot about TRiO, and then I became the chapter president of Arizona, and I realized I didn't know anything about TRiO. And you make great connections with people that you can rely on. If, you get a call from the Department of Ed and you're not quite sure you'll understand what's going on, there's tons of people you can call at that point to get some guidance. And it was a great experience, and I would not change it for anything.
Well, awesome. Just awesome all around, Tara. One last question for you before we go. What is the most rewarding aspect of SSS for you?
Graduation.
Graduation.
Oh,
okay.
I love graduation.
Okay.
I love seeing the students in their caps and gowns walking across that stage because I'm the one person who knows just how hard they had to work to walk across that stage. Parents get some, their friends hear some, but as a TRiO professional, I think we hear everything that goes on in a student's life. We deal with my boyfriend dumped me. We deal with the I hate my teachers. We see their whole life. Whereas mom and dad see this a certain part, and their friends see another part of them. But TRiO professionals, we get to see the whole student, every aspect of it. And when they walk across that stage, they earned that diploma, and they worked hard for it. And there's nothing. I mean, it's just such a proud moment. It's like it's just such an amazing sight when those students walk across that stage and you can see that the rest of their life is different because of that moment right there. It will be completely different than the path they were originally on.
Okay. Well, Tara, thank you so much for being part of this program. Thank you for being on air with us.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely. We'd love to have you sometime again. Hopefully in the future we'll call you back in and you can share a bit more about TRiO. So again, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
You have a wonderful evening.
Good night, Tara. Thank you, and it was good to hear your voice again.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. We'll see you guys soon.
Okay, take care.
All right. Everybody, we're at the top of the hour. You are listening to Let's Talk TRiO on Hound Waves, Portales, broadcasting live from the campus of Eastern New Mexico University. We just finished talking to Miss Tara Grant from the Arizona State University TRiO Student Support Services Program. We have a silent guest with us. He is kind of been quiet. You've heard him a little bit on the background. It's DJ Indian Burn from Smoke Signals in the Morning.
All in my ear. Like you.
How y'all doing?
Right there.
So, DJ Indian Burn, I'm just
What's
glad to have you here on the show. I know you've been kind of quiet in the background, kind of doing your thing on the background.
Quiet?
Well, I don't know what's been going on. That's honestly. I'm here looking at Facebook, hearing amazing stories about how ASU is kind of just dwarfing small town business.
Hey, we're working our
But
mojo.
TRiO here is an amazing program. I firsthand have seen kids become better people because of this program. And
Actually, I would like to take a minute to talk about that. DJ Indian Burn, him and I, we, over this past weekend, Saturday, we brought the students, Upward Bound students, approximately 30 of them, to the radio booth. And DJ Indian Burn, can you tell us a little bit about that?
First off, anything for the kids.
Yeah.
But it was great to see, some students out there that were so intrigued, and so like some kids just wanted to be that. It was great to see some, I guess, that fire inside of man. I hear this on the radio now. I get a chance to hit some switches and talk on the mic. And it's always good to see, especially children, excited about something that they've been dreaming about or something they've always wanted to try. I can remember my first time being in this booth, and I'm like 23 years old when I was like, oh my gosh, I get to be on have my own radio show. And now, I have a few listeners, and it's just been a great experience.
Well, DJ Indian Burn, you and I have a lot in common. Yeah. Actually, here I am being 30 years old. Never thought I'd ever be a DJ, and finally being able to do this. And it's just an amazing experience. And hopefully we're sharing that passion with our students that, hey, whatever you want to do, connect yourself to that resource and you can make it happen.
Exactly. I always thought, growing up on a small community, and coming out here has been probably one of the most positive effects on my life. It wasn't easy, because, like most of us, I bet you a lot of people can relate out there that's listening, that they've had, battles that they had to fight. And, but for me, I think college was probably one of the biggest things. No matter how old you are, I think it's always a great decision in general, because you'll meet people from all backgrounds,
right? And
you'll experience all kinds of things that you never thought you experienced, and opportunities just open up one door to the next. And I mean, that's how I even got on the radio show,
right?
And meeting great people like you and Rod here.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you very much.
One of those things.
A butterfly kiss.
I will give you a butterfly kiss over the. I don't know that, but it's just kind of awkward saying that now.
That is a little awkward.
Sorry, that was weird.
Natives don't do that.
Yeah.
I'll do it. There we go. Hey.
Okay, so everyone, we are at the top of the hour. We're here with DJ Indian Burn. Can you stick around for like 10 more minutes? Please.
Sure, I'll stay around for a little bit more.
Okay, we've got DJ Indian Burn for 10 more minutes. We're going to
be taking my time, y'all.
Actually, no, we're passing it right now to you, Rod. We're passing
it to Rod.
No, I don't have any music scheduled till 7:15, Rod.
Oh my gosh.
So, I'm passing it over to Rod. Rod and his 15 minutes of fame. Everybody.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, of course you know that I have my time of fun facts coming up. But apparently there's been someone who has got onto my page and has pulled up his Facebook and has completely done away with my fun facts. So as we get that back, no.
Rod, do you want to come with me, or no, Jacob? You want to go this way, or are you guys good?
Oh, it had such good ones. My goodness. Anyway, just to talk about a few different things before we get started with our fun facts. Yeah. Please know if we have any Upward Bound NMU participants that are listening in, just know that this time is dedicated for testimonials. If you want to call in and share your story, as our lovely DJ Indian Burn has shared his experience with, I don't necessarily say TRiO programs, but I think you have participated in some activities with SSS at some point. But
yeah, most definitely. I mean, I was asked to drive, and was treacherous enough to pick up the kids. So it's just been a great experience. I mean, the first couple of times meeting them and stuff, of course they're always shy, but as soon as you get to you right away understand that you become a big influence in these children's lives. Not even children's, I should say, young adults that are just learning to be somebody.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the number to call in for those TRiO testimonials, it's 575-562-4083. So right now you can give us a call. We'll put your TRiO story on the air. Right now we are still on the air with Rod and DJ Indian Burn. We are doing Rod's quasi 15 minutes of fame. So Rod, take it away, man.
All right, so do I have my music in the background, please?
Hold up.
Put my music on. We got to put my music on. Fun facts that you always wanted to know. All right, DJ Indian Burn. I usually put DJ JMR on the hot seat, so I ask him these questions. So will you alternate with me, DJ Burn? Are you sure? Problem. I'll take the first one. You'll take the next one.
All right.
And we'll keep that pattern throughout the duration of our fun facts.
That sounds familiar.
Get out of here. You don't know. All right, so DJ JMR, if you yelled for 8 years, 7 months, and 6 days, you would have produced enough sound energy to what? Now, I've asked this question before, so you should know this one. Get it right. I'm going to repeat. Would you like to
repeat that question? Well,
sure.
I didn't quite get that. If
you yelled for 8 years, 7 months, and 6 days, you would have produced enough energy to
sound energy.
Sound. Hey. I got this. Sound energy to heat what?
Okay. I think isn't it enough to power one town?
No. Try again, Mr. Rivas, DJ JMR.
Only I can do that.
Oh,
Whatever.
that's Jacob's sound. Or DJ Endeavor. Sorry, didn't mean to reveal your full name there. Is it power a small generator?
No, 1 cup of coffee.
Oh, I forgot about that.
You have to remember
really
this
blanked
stuff.
on this one.
I mean, I know
Sorry.
it's been a few months since the
It's
last time
been a
I
while.
asked you the question, but you should remember this stuff.
I forgot.
And if we have any UB participants that are listening, you should remember this as well. That was my nice little plug in for that. All right, so tell me, DJ JMR,
Yeah.
did you know that polar bears are blank-handed?
Blank-handed. Are they left-handed?
He read this. He sneaks over here to read this stuff,
No.
and he runs back over and says, "No, I didn't
I was
read
listening.
anything."
I was looking for music to play in the background,
right.
and you were.
You read it.
Oh,
What is the elevator music?
it's elevator music to wait. Well, DJ Endeavor, I would like to invite you to play background music for us if you'd like.
No, it's fine. I am just enjoying this time and learning fun facts with Rod Chambers.
You said my real name on it's DJ,
Brotha Rod. Yeah.
Now,
DJ
I can get it
Brotha
right.
Rod.
I got yours right. Get it right, DJ.
DJ
Indian Bird, get it right. Kimbo, get it right. Now, you take this next question. Take the next one.
All right, ask away.
Hey, starfish don't have brains. Did you know that?
What? They don't?
Starfish do not have brains. That's
So that's why Patrick Starr is always he goes around going, get a dog, little longy. Get a dog.
That's exactly why he does that.
Yeah.
Hey. Okay. DJ JMR.
Yeah.
Do butterflies taste their feet?
What? Do butterflies taste their feet?
Do butterflies taste their feet?
I know they can feel.
That
through
sounds like a Ryan question.
Yeah, that did sound like a Rod
Ask
question.
me. Tell me, do butterflies taste their feet?
That's a tough question.
All Indian.
Is it? Do they? I think they do. They do.
Indian what?
It's an old Indian tale.
Really?
Okay.
They
I think
do. They do. Yes,
What?
you got that right.
I did not know that. They taste. They taste their feet.
Now,
taste-
tell us, you can't just drop a piece of knowledge like that and not tell us. Now, how's this an old Indian's tale? How did you know this?
Educate
Yeah.
us.
Half these facts my ancestors told Columbus.
As we would say in
It's
the
such a
office,
big deal right now.
as we say in the office, boy, hush. Columbus, he ain't told. Who told Columbus that? Who told Columbus that?
Native guy.
Native guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right,
Next question.
DJ JMR.
Yeah.
Did you know that pearls melt in blank?
Pearls melt in blank. I want to say they melt in water. No?
What's he talking about?
You guys are giving me
pearls are
weird-
actually made in water.
Oh, well. I was way off.
Hey, don't be putting him on blast like that.
Hey,
No,
What's the... So, where do they melt?
We're in college.
you should know this.
I
Right?
should have known this.
You take chemistry.
I didn't. Well, I didn't pay enough attention in biology. I will say that. I will say that.
Me neither.
Okay.
Take one more guess.
They melt.
Just fancy us for a moment.
Okay. Is it one of those weird stones that something happens to them in the cold? No.
What do you say? Because the ocean's pretty
That
cold.
is true. I don't know. You guys got me. I don't know.
Can I tell me the answer?
You may disclose the answer.
The answer is vinegar.
Really? What?
Vinegar,
Really?
vinegar.
So if you be balling out there and you have a can of vinegar, make sure you ain't balling with a can of vinegar close to your pearls.
That was a little dangerous.
Just saying.
That was a little dangerous. Be careful. You're treading on thin ice with that.
I'm just saying.
Anyway, can we play a song and then we'll come back and I'll give you a COE update.
A COE update. All right, Rod. I have a number. I'm gonna play a song for you guys right now. It's The Fray with How to Save a Life.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you were just listening to Kevin Gray, an artist out of yours truly, I believe it's Chicago, Illinois. Why that would be yours truly, I don't have a clue. But just a little background information on Mr. Kevin Gray. That song was Hold On, and before then you were listening to The Fray, How to Save a Life. So I think there's a message going on there, how to save a life, and then hold on, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. I like it.
Just with a few updates from COE. COE is our lobbyist that fights every day on Capitol Hill for all TRiO programs on our behalf, and we are very grateful for COE. Please remember that at the end of the semester, one of our last shows, we're going to have one of our representatives from COE to be on air and have a interview with us, so we're excited about that.
Angelica Villalpando from the Council of Opportunity and Education.
Just a few updates from our current president, Maureen Hoyler. I hope I pronounced that correctly. For those who've been keeping up or have been keeping up with the political climate in D.C., we had a response. Senate passed legislation to reopen the government. Of course, we all know that. But a few different points to highlight that should be coming up here in the near future. Fund the government at current levels through January 15th. This will be a hot topic that I'll be discussing at this next meeting. Suspend the debt limit until February 7, 2014, and require that in future debt ceiling decisions, the debt ceiling will automatically be raised unless Congress disapproves raising the debt ceiling. Heard some good topics on that one.
Yeah.
Return to regular order, quote unquote, by establishing a budget conference committee to come up with a long-term spending plan by December 13, 2013. I'm going to reserve my comments for that one.
Okay.
Just
a quick comment. You do realize that with the current debt deal that was passed, we're kind of kicking the can down the road. We're waiting for another quote unquote crisis, essentially. But
yes.
I'm passing them. I'm sorry, Rod. I just needed to get that comment out there.
No problems. I think we could have a discussion on that at a different time. Just to give our audience an update on what's to be expected from ours truly at Congress. And last but not least, provide feedback for furloughed federal employees, including those of the Department of Education. So that would be some information, news that you'll be hearing coming up in the next few weeks and months. Ladies and gentlemen, that ends my part of the show. Updates from COE. I hope you enjoyed the fun facts. I'm going to pass it back to DJ JMR.
All right. Thank you guys very much. You're listening to Let's Talk TRiO on Hound Waves College Radio. Listen to us at www.enmu.edu/radio, or we're also on the iTunes directory. If you don't know how to get there, look at our Facebook page at Let's Talk TRiO, and you can look at the directions on how to get the internet radio on your iTunes. In addition to that, I just wanted to send a quick shout out to our support Senate here at Eastern New Mexico University. They are doing a canned food drive. So if you're around the admin building, the comm building, the anthropology and art building, anywhere pretty much on campus, you can find some boxes to donate some canned foods for needy families here at Eastern. Also, wanted to say something else on top of that, Rod, but can you embellish me real quick?
No problem. We have our last two songs. I just want to make sure that our audience don't cut off too soon.
Oh yes,
we do. Two songs, but please go for it. Whatever you need to share with our audience before we close it for the
fantastic. So next week, ladies and gentlemen, we have on the docket, we have someone calling in, I believe. And I don't have the guest list with me. Oh, my gosh.
So that's a good thing, because now that makes them accountable for looking on our Facebook.
Yes. So look on our Facebook page to look at the several guests that we have coming up, and actually have the guest list now. There it is. The guests that are coming up for Let's Talk TRiO. Next week is Ed Warden, our current president of TRiO New Mexico, calling in, representing Santa Fe Community College. So that'll be a fun program. And another, just like kind of on a side note, we will have, as Rod said, Angelica Villalpando and Kim joining us from the Council of Opportunity of Education, which will be a fantastic program. And that's wraps it up for us, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in to Let's Talk TRiO. Thank you so much, Tara Grant, for listening to us. Keep it tuned to hear we love you listening to Hound Waves Radio. There's a slew of programming that you can listen to. So keep it here, keep it live. We are signing out. Rod, what are we listening to next?
We have A Little More Time from Kim Burrell.
Awesome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful rest of your week. We'll see you here, same time next week.